The alien fleet descended upon the skies of Novus Terra like a silver tide of contempt. To the Verkan Dominion, humanity was still young, barely 2 centuries into the stars, soft-skinned, wide-eyed explorers stumbling across the void. When the first human colony ship drifted too close to Verkan-controlled space, the Dominion didn't bother with diplomacy. They saw no need to talk to children. Instead, they opened fire. Novus Terra, a world of forests and oceans, home to over 5 million settlers, burned within hours. Orbital bombardment rained down like the wrath of indifferent gods. The colony's defenses, modest planetary shields, a handful of frigates, melted under plasma fire. The Verkan fleet commander, Lord Arkantal, stood on his bridge, staring at the holographic view of the planet's surface. Cities glowed white-hot beneath the bombardment. He turned to his officers and smirked. "Children should not wander where warriors rule," he said. "Let this be a lesson to their kind." His crew laughed. Harsh, guttural sounds of amusement. They recorded the event, broadcasting it across the galactic networks. A warning to humanity. The Dominion would tolerate no trespass. They didn't even bother to collect the survivors. The Verkans considered it beneath them. A warning should sting, but never linger long enough to grow teeth. They left Novus Terra in ashes, and they left behind something else. Something watching, something learning, something waiting. The laughter of arrogance for months, the Verkan Dominion boasted. Their hollow feeds played the footage on endless loops, human ships burning, cities crumbling. They mocked humanity's slow, fumbling expansion across the stars, across their empire's worlds. Alien children played games where they burned the Terrans. Verkan merchants sold trinkets shaped like shattered human colonies. Even the Verkan Council, ancient and proud, dismissed humanity as a temporary noise, loud, fragile, and forgettable. In the Galactic Assembly, where hundreds of species gathered in uneasy peace, the Verkan ambassador spoke with smug finality. "Humans," he said, "are what happens when apes discover metal. They mistake tools for power. They build toys, not weapons. They dream of peace while stepping into a galaxy built on war. They should have stayed on their blue rock." And the other species, those who had dealt with humans only through trade or distant treaties, nodded uneasily. After all, humanity had always been polite, negotiators, builders, explorers, but not warriors. The Assembly believed that too. Humanity's fleets were small, their colonies spread thin, their diplomats too eager for cooperation. The Verkans saw their weakness as an opportunity, but what they mistook for weakness was patience. The silence before the storm. For 31 days after Novus Terra's destruction, humanity said nothing. No retaliation, no declaration, no movement of fleets. Earth's news channels mourned, but the military networks went dark. Human ambassadors to the Assembly stopped responding. The Terran colonies, from Mars to Proxima Centauri, went silent, and in that silence, the galaxy relaxed. Then, on the 32nd day, every communication relay in the Sol sector activated simultaneously. Across the stars, a single transmission echoed through the Assembly's secure channels. A human voice, calm, controlled, cold. "This is Admiral Marcus Vale of the Terran Defense Command. The colony of Novus Terra was home to our people, our families. The Verkan Dominion has declared war on humanity with their actions. This message serves as notice to all governments. Any who aid the Dominion will share their fate." There was no reply, no broadcast of outrage or plea for mercy, only that voice. And then, silence again. But not the same silence. This one moved. It pulsed through the void like a heartbeat. Deep space sensors began detecting fleet movements near Sol. Dozens of ships, then hundreds, then thousands. The Terran Navy, thought to be a small defensive force, was mobilizing in absolute silence. Shipyards that had lain dormant for decades flared to life. Civilian traffic was halted. Every channel went encrypted. And at the heart of it all, the mysterious Eidolon Protocol was activated. An old myth whispered among human officers. Something that was never supposed to be used. The galaxy watched, and for the first time, felt uneasy. The coming of shadows. When the Verkan scout fleets reached the border systems, they found nothing. Empty space, cold planets, silent stations. Then the signals began. Short, distorted transmissions. Voices whispering across frequencies the Verkans had never heard before. "You thought us children," one said. "Then come play in the dark," another whispered. Entire patrol groups vanished, one by one. In the shadows of dying suns, The wreckage of Vulcan ships drifted, carved open, systems stripped. No survivors. By the time Lord Arkental received the reports, a third of his frontier fleet had gone dark. He dismissed the losses as human trickery. "Let them hide," he snarled. "We will burn every world they own until they beg for mercy." But humanity did not beg. When the Dominion's next assault fleet arrived at Epsilon Prime, they found the planet gone dark. No power, no defenses. They approached cautiously, and then the dark side of the planet moved. Satellites rose, hundreds of them, unfolding like wings. Orbital cannons the size of cities turned toward the sky. "Targets locked," came a human voice over open comms. Before the Vulcans could respond, the heavens split open. Human dreadnoughts dropped from FTL in formation. Sleek angular titans of black alloy. They bore no markings, no insignia, only silent determination. They opened fire. In 28 seconds, the Vulcan fleet ceased to exist. Admiral Vale's fleet didn't stay to celebrate. They transmitted one phrase across all known channels. "Retribution has begun." The fall of the Dominion. The first human counterstrike was surgical, targeted, precise. Every Vulcan world involved in the Novus Terra massacre, gone within hours. Planetary shipyards vaporized. Command centers turned to molten glass. The second wave was different. Humanity stopped sending warnings. Entire sectors went dark as human stealth fleets, ghost ships invisible even to Vulcan sensors, appeared behind enemy lines. They didn't just destroy. They unmade orbital rings collapsed, oceans boiled, skies turned crimson. The Dominion's mighty fortress world, Carthun, held for 3 days. Its defenses were ancient, powerful, built to withstand the wars of 1,000 species. It fell in 1 hour. Witnesses spoke of the sky splitting apart, black ships blotting out the stars. The humans descended in silence, their weapons burning without sound, their soldiers landing in suits of obsidian armor. The Vulcan defenders fought bravely. They died screaming. When the Terran flag was raised over Carthun, the human commanders simply said, "Justice for Novus Terra." By the 5th week, the Dominion was collapsing. Their rulers fled to deep space. Their allies disavowed them. Their armies refused to fight. The word human became a curse, a whisper of something unstoppable. The galaxy had never seen such fury, because humanity didn't fight like conquerors. They fought like a people who remembered pain. Every strike, every bombardment, every soldier's step carried the weight of 5 million lost souls, and in their vengeance, they were perfect. The children of Earth in the assembly. Chaos reigned. Ambassadors shouted, demanded answers, begged for peace. The human delegation sat in silence. At last, the Terran representative stood, a quiet woman named Alara Cade. She faced the hall of trembling species. "You called us children," she said. "And maybe we were. We wanted peace. We wanted friendship. We believed the galaxy could be better than this." Her voice hardened. "But you showed us what the galaxy truly is. A playground for monsters who mistake kindness for weakness." She placed a data crystal on the table. "This contains the full record of Novus Terra. Every death, every scream, every atrocity. We've preserved it, so we never forget." No one spoke. Alara continued. "The Dominion is no more. Their homeworlds are gone. Their fleets are dust. Their name will not be remembered in human history, only the lesson they taught us." She looked up, her eyes cold. "Never mistake our mercy for submission." And then she left. No applause. No triumph, only silence. The price of fear months passed. The Vulcan Dominion systems were now quarantine zones, fields of wreckage orbiting dead worlds. No one entered them. No one dared. Rumors spread like wildfire, of human fleets that moved unseen, of black-armored soldiers who never spoke, of planets erased from maps. In the underworld markets, smugglers sold pieces of Vulcan wreckage at obscene prices, each fragment etched with burns no one could identify. Some said humanity had developed weapons that could fold space itself. Others swore their ships traveled through shadows, but no one truly knew, because humanity had vanished from open politics. Their fleets no longer patrolled. Their colonies no longer transmitted. Earth had gone quiet again. Only the stars bore witness to what they'd done, and the galaxy remembered. Epilogue. The Whisper. In the void centuries. Later, a trader ship stumbled across the ruins of a Vulcan station at the edge of known space. Its walls were blackened, twisted, still faintly warm, as if the fires of vengeance had never truly gone out. Among the wreckage, the traders found a beacon, still powered, Still broadcasting, a human voice, old but unbroken, echoed across the void. Here lies the price of arrogance. They thought us children, but learned fear instead. The transmission repeated endlessly, a warning carried on the dark winds of space. And so the galaxy learned a truth carved in fire and silence. Humanity is slow to anger. But once awakened, they are the nightmare that does not end.